The stock market saw record highs and unemployment claims came in lower than expected last week. Signs of an improving economy, well, that is yet to be seen. Is what's happening on Wall Street helping Main Street? We'd like to check in with our friends at Lowcountry Local First. We're happy to welcome back Jordan Amaker and Lauren Gallatley. Ladies, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Leyla.
Thank you for having us.
Jordan, I'll ask you that question first. With businesses shuttering block after block, are we seeing light at the end of the tunnel anytime soon?
You know, it's an interesting question that I don't know that anyone has a real concrete answer to quite yet, but I will say that we just finished wrapping up a survey of small businesses in the area. We'll be releasing the full findings of that here in the next couple of weeks. But the sort of biggest takeaway we came from that, there were about 150 businesses just across the Lowcountry that completed that survey, and they were remarkably optimistic. You know, we asked questions about, do you foresee needing to close before the end of the year? Do you foresee, needing to lay off significantly more of your team by the end of the year? And a resounding majority said no, and we're very optimistic. So that gave us a lot of hope.
Well, I like that note. Lauren, what have you been hearing from local business owners?
Yeah, we are hearing, like Jordan said, a little more optimism than what we're seeing on the national scale, which is good for the Lowcountry. The Yelp actually reported in June that 41% of the businesses on their platform nationally had permanently closed. So that's a really staggering, statistic that we've learned recently. So we're hoping that the businesses here in the Lowcountry have accessed the loans that they need to get by, the federal funding that's been in place for COVID, and are adapting and pivoting their business models in whatever way they need to hold on right now.
Right. And Jordan, those surveys, can you give us an idea as to which business owners are the more positive and which ones are maybe a little bit more on the negative side? Maybe if it's between a restaurant and, say, a brick and mortar boutique or something of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, I think sort of it shows what you would expect. The food and beverage retail communities are struggling a bit more than the business services community might be. But, it's the stories you hear really, even within the niche, let's say in the food and bev community, the stories you hear, it's a really wide range. It comes down to who's accessed the capital that they need, who has a space large enough where they might be able to survive and space out more than others, who's able to have the outdoor dining space that they need to carry through. So it's not a black and white issue right now. It's really a big gray scale of things that we're seeing. So, it's why we're excited to showcase some of what other cities across North and South Carolina have been doing. It's no cities found the golden egg to fix, the problems facing our small business community, but a lot of communities have found really creative, powerful ways to do that. So, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can look to our neighbors just down the road and see some really fantastic ways to continue to help them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Lauren, you're also the organization's event moderator. So can you tell us how local leaders are helping small businesses?
Absolutely. So as Jordan mentioned, we are very excited to bring a virtual conversation tomorrow to the Lowcountry and beyond. And we are building this webinar out on a national report that was recently issued by one of our partners, the Institute of Local Self-Reliance. And they have done all the research and put together an action plan and guide of 26 ways that cities can support the local business community during the pandemic. So there are actions to be taken immediately to help businesses stay afloat, sort of the middle term things to help them adapt and survive, and then also actions they can be taking to look at long-term systemic change. So we have that report's author that we are going to be having in this conversation that's taking place tomorrow online. And then we've also invited city leaders from 3 different cities to come on and share stories, highlighting one of those actions in practice and how that's worked. And so we're hoping city leaders from across the state join in to learn what they can be doing to set new policy to help the local business community.
And I want to hear who city leaders are, and I want to get more details on how people can engage in this virtual seminar. So we're going to do that after the break, ladies. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We've been talking with Lowcountry Local First, Jordan Amaker and Lauren Galatly, and they've been telling us about a seminar that's going to be held tomorrow for small business owners. It's going to be moderated by some important city leaders who can kind of give their take on what's happening to Small Business USA. And from what I understand, you've been getting pretty positive feedback from local business owners, it sounds like, from all ends of the spectrum. Ladies, first of all, Lauren, you were starting to tell us about when this virtual seminar was going to be taking place and who was going to be joining in. So who are some of the names that people can expect to hear from?
Yes, so we will be joined tomorrow during the seminar by the report author, Kennedy Smith from the Institute of Local Self-Reliance. She's out of the DC area. And then Mayor Steve Benjamin from the city of Columbia, South Carolina. Spencer Wetmore, recently elected to the state legislature. And then also Dana Frankel, who is the downtown specialist with the city of Asheville in North Carolina.
Oh, wow. So you're really kind of spreading it out. You're going from South and North Carolina, which is good. You know, these are all fantastic hubs of business and growing so exponentially. All right. So this is Action Steps for Cities to Help the Local Business Community. This is happening tomorrow, September 9th, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. It's online. It is free, but advanced registration is required. Jordan, I want to end on this note. What is next in the Good Business Workshop series, Reboot and Rebound?
Yes, thank you. We are about halfway through our 5-part series that we offer the local business community, specifically here in Charleston. We partner with PeopleSurge, a really fantastic talent optimization firm, to provide these. So we've covered topics about reimagining your business, right? The word pivot is such a key word this year. And so we've talked about that. We've talked about, we'll be coming up next in October talking about developing confident leaders. So whether you're a solopreneur that you need to work on developing your own confidence right now, or you support a team of people who really right now need to step up and be innovative and creative and bold, how to do that, how to develop that kind of leadership skill. We'll be wrapping out the year later this fall with talking about creative workspaces. If you're working from home, you're working in a co-working space, what does that look like? How do you support that in your team? And then wrapping up in December with another focus on the PPP loans. We'll be learning more over the next few months on the forgiveness aspect of those loans that so many of our local businesses have leaned on this year. And so we'll be sharing out how to make sure that as much of that is forgivable as possible.
Invaluable information. Jordan, Lauren, I want to thank you both for joining us today. We'll be back after this.